He's wanting to talk about going long?
I'm being frank.
Well, I'm frank. Let me be frank.
Hi, welcome to this edition of Dock Talk, where we're out at the Lake McQueeney Dam, watching it be constructed. Look at that fancy crane behind us. Anyways, we wanted to talk about WCID taxes and the differences between the lakes, I guess, and similarities. So,
Okay.
I'll let you kick us off.
First off, WCID stands for Water Control Improvement District. So you got Dunlap, you got McQueeney, Placid, and Meadow Lake here on the Guadalupe River chain. And they all have a taxed base, and they have a board that controls and sends that out for elections. Dunlap is at 20 cents per 100 right now with the WCID. McQueeney's at 48 cents per 100. Lake Placid is $1.03, and Meadow Lake is kind of somewhere up in the air. So let's talk about the disparity. Why is there a disparity between $1.03 on Placid, say, and the 20 cents on Dunlap?
Yeah, actually, the high end of Meadow is like $1.35, I believe. But I'll touch on that in a little bit.
Okay.
But the ones that we know, so we have the 20 cents, the 48 cents, and the $1.03 or $1.05 for Placid, is why so much cheaper for Dunlap? Well, Dunlap hit the trifecta. They had, pre-inflation construction cost. So for instance, that dam cost us, I believe, $36 million. This dam right behind us at McQueeney, which is the identical dam, I believe it's 56 or 58 million
Right.
for the exact same dam. So we got the agreement with the contractor at a much lower price. And everybody knows building a home is a lot more expensive than it was,
Right.
Pre-COVID.
Interest rates.
And then also interest rates. That's the second one.
Right.
And then third is GBRA is contributing, at least for Dunlap, McQueeney, and Placid, they're contributing 100% of the gross revenue towards the debt service for the lakes. Well, Lake Dunlap, that generator produces the most electricity out of all 6 generators that they have going downriver. So again, better pricing, lower interest rate, and more contribution from the hydroelectric income.
Right.
So that's why it's 20 cents. And actually, our hydroelectric income, I've heard rumors, and I don't know if they're true, we could have no tax in some years if we have high flow.
Right.
McQueeney, going on to McQueeney, we obviously have a much higher cost. I don't believe their interest rate is quite as attractive as ours. It is subsidized, it is a lot lower rate, but I don't believe it's 0%. I could be wrong on that. If I'm wrong, comment below and we'll get back to you. But one of the things that keeps McQueeney down compared to Placid is McQueeney has more taxpayers. So the WCIDs, yes, it is for each one of the lakes, but your property has to touch the water for you to be taxed. So if you live across the street from the water, even though you have access to it, you're not paying in for the tax. So the homeowners are paying for the dam.
Right.
So there's more homeowners on McQueeney than any of the other lakes. Dunlap's slightly bigger, about 10 acres bigger than McQueeney, but there is more properties on McQueeney.
And the WCID, it cannot be a profit. They cannot make money. So
Correct.
As assessments with the county continue to rise, as values appreciate around here, that rate should lower on all of these lakes as values increase.
That's a very good point that a lot of people don't understand. So if they say take 48 cents, we'll just round it to 50 cents for McQueeney. If all the property values on McQueeney double in the next 10 years, which is very likely to happen, then we have a 30-year fixed mortgage basically on these dams. It's the same payment roughly on year 1 it is year 10 and year 30. So if the value of all the properties on the lake doubles,
Right.
the tax rate should be cut in half. So you're taking a 50 cent tax now. If every property doubles on the lake, it's going to be a 25 cent tax.
Right.
So basically, whatever you're paying in taxes right now, they're going to probably adjust the tax rate, so you pay that for the next 30 years.
So when you hear $1.03 on Placid compared to 20 cents on Dunlap, it sounds horribly outrageous, but you can almost count on that going down because assessed values in Seguin are going to continue to rise.
Well, another thing on Placid that I do talk to a lot of clients on is there's not as many homeowners, which is why the tax rate's higher. Also, property value is not as high as it is on McQueeney. So you take $1 million house on Placid, that's going to cost you 1.5 or potentially higher on McQueeney. So even though you're at a lower tax rate, your value's higher for the exact same product. So, you know, you get more for your money on Placid, but then again, you're going to be paying a higher tax rate, but not necessarily a higher tax amount, if that makes sense.
That's correct. And you know, and Dunlap's sitting pretty right now at 20 cents, but there are a lot of tax base there. And I mean, it was unfortunate that we got surprised with the dam collapsing in May of 19, but it's actually kind of fortunate that it happened. In hindsight, because we got the lower price, we got the, you know, construction costs, interest rates, everything was lower. So Dunlap came out smelling, you know, pretty sweet.
Yes. So at least a little silver lining for our 5-year wait.
For sure. Yeah.
But, you know, touching on Meadow, it was kind of up in the air. We do have a lot of clarity. It's not as up in the air as it once was. Really cool thing about Meadow. Meadow it's the smallest lake. There's not enough taxpayers. GBRA, who Dunlap, McQueeney, and Placid partnered with, will not build anything other than a hydraulic crest dam like what they're building behind us. But they'll sell you the dam and you can do whatever you want. And
that's the route Meadow is taking.
Yes. So Meadow is actually working on, it's not done yet, purchasing the dam, I hear for a hefty fee of $1. And they are going with a more affordable design. It's called an Obermeyer system. I might have mispronounced that, but it's basically airbags that pick up the gates. Cool thing is, we've talked about top load and bottom load. It's a very similar load to the old bear traps. So there's not a lot of, I guess, construction like they're doing behind us that they need to do to the dam structure. You have the dam structure and the spill gates. So it's a lot more affordable. I think they've got some hard bids. Oh, you were going to say something?
Well, I mean, that's where I was going. Is, you know, this one's 48 million or 56 million to build, whereas Meadow's going to be in the 15 to 18 million range. Isn't that correct?
Correct.
So
and
it's mainly a repair, basically, what they're doing.
One of the things that I don't want to leave on the squash on that is people looking at that. If you look at the proposed tax rate for Meadow, if you just look at it at the surface, they're saying up to $1.35, I believe. I might be off on that, but I know it's higher than Placid, and that's scaring a lot of people. But that's a worst case scenario. You said I think they have hard bids just under $15 million. They've already got a commitment from the city of Seguin. 5
million or something like that.
5 million, I think, up to 5 million. I think it's a percentage of the total cost, but it's basically going to be at or really close to 5 million. They've applied for a grant, which we actually should hear about next month, whether they get it for another 5 million. So that leaves, if those hard bids stay true, only about 4 to 5 million for the homeowners to pick up. If the $1.35 is based off $15 million. So it could be around, you know, a McQueeney.
45, 50, somewhere in that sense.
So it could, and honestly, that's, if you talk to J.C. Robbins, throwing you under the bus, but he's very optimistic about it coming in around that 15 million.
That would be awesome.
I don't really see that $1.35 actually coming to fruition. And again, as the property values go up on that lake, and there's talks of developments along that lake, and the more that's developed, the more taxpayers get to pay in, the lower the rate gets to is, and it just helps everybody out.
For sure. Price you pay to live on the lake. I mean, we want a dam that's solid and won't collapse again and surprise us. So it's for many, many years of enjoyment.
You look at like downtown Houston, downtown Austin, downtown San Antonio, you're seeing tax rates up to like 3.5%. Even with these WCID taxes, a lot of the lakes aren't even over 3. So, I mean, it's still more affordable. I've talked to a guy about taxes many years ago. He was looking at a property on McQueeney, and he was like, these taxes, they're so high. And I'm like, the rate's really low. And he goes, no, I don't pay that much in Houston. And as we were talking, I pulled up his house in Houston, and the tax rate was double what it was on McQueeney at the house he was looking at. We all got to pay taxes, but this is a tax that you actually get to see benefit from. Which is really rare if you think about it.
Get to enjoy it. So if you have any questions about the WCID, you know, you can go to the individual lakes, Lake McQueeney WCID, Lake Dunlap WCID, MLNDA, which is a Meadow Lake Nolte Dam Association. There's links there, or gvlakes.org. If you have any questions, leave them below or any comments, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful day.